Hi, Checkpoint family, extended Checkpoint family, hello. So, to me, this image says it all. And in 2017, you saw this image and similar images in many, many places. For those that don't recognize this is a train station in Germany, and you can see WannaCry on top of it. And you saw many of these images like that. And to me, this illustrates exactly what happened in 2017. It wasn't about IT systems and servers and so on. It was about our day-to-day life. It was about WannaCry and Petya and different attacks that were actually shutting down our day-to-day life, from transportation, hospitals, banks, telecommunication, manufacturing, everything. And this is exactly what happened. And to me, when you look at the IT industry in general, the past 20 years, every time there was a significant change, there was a need also for the cybersecurity industry to do something with it. And I hope that you would agree with me that, as Gil also said this morning, this reflects, I think, a significant inflection point. And we spoke about different generations, and what happened in 2017 won't disappear in 2018. It will intensify in 2018, because this is the world that we live in. We're in a connected world, and more disruption will happen. So 2017, from a cybersecurity and a cyber attack perspective, was a significant inflection point. And clearly with that, we're also looking at what does it mean. And we were talking about the 5th generation of attacks that is all about these different types of mega attacks. And when looking at these 5th generation of cyber attacks, this is where we need to provide also the 5th generation of protections. And this is what the 5th generation, this is what we were speaking about this morning. We need to provide to our customers the right set of protections to protect ourselves against these different mega attacks that are affecting us on our day-to-day life. This is what we said. So I would like to use this illustration, and I'll explain shortly why I chose this mountain. But when talking about the 5th generation of cyber protections, what are the key ingredients? 3 key ingredients. As we said this morning, first of all, it's about the ability to provide real-time prevention. It's about the ability to stop the attacks once they happen immediately, not to wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes, not to talk about detection and then I'll do some remediation. I need to be able to block. I need to block immediately. So real-time prevention is key. The second element there is across the entire network. I can't just say that I'm going to protect only my perimeter, I'm going to only protect my data center. I need to be everywhere. I need to protect my mobile devices. You just heard an excellent presentation from Jeremy talking about the need to protect our mobile devices. We need to protect our clouds, our branches, everywhere that we have right now, IT and technology, we need to protect. And last but not least, it's about consolidated management. Because at the end of the day, this complexity needs to be managed. And you need to be able to look at your entire security management in a single pane of glass in order to build the right policies and to be protected when you need to be protected. So these are the 3 ingredients. And why did I show this illustration of a mountain? Because to build this level of security, the 5th generation of security, is not an easy thing. It's like climbing a mountain. It takes a lot of time, a lot of experience. And there are many different cybersecurity vendors out there, but not all of them can really climb and succeed to get to the top there. I think that we are fortunate, all of the people in this room here, the Checkpoint, extended Checkpoint family, that we have the ability with many years of innovation and technologies to provide the right solution for this 5th generation of cyber attacks and to provide the right generation of cyber protections. And this is what Checkpoint Infinity is all about. Checkpoint Infinity is an architecture that enables us today to actually, with all these different ingredients, to provide the right level of security that is needed in this 5th generation of cyber attacks that we're hearing. So let's together try to walk in this journey and climb these different 3 ingredients. And let's talk about these 3 ingredients one by one. Okay, so the first one is about real-time prevention. And real-time prevention, as Gil mentioned this morning, is about many technologies that all together, combined together, are providing today a very strong and best set of technologies. And it's all about innovation, a consistent innovation. You heard also this morning from Nitzan talking about artificial intelligence. Just to give you one example, just to remind you, one of the technologies that we've already built in our system This is the context-aware detection, which is all about this machine learning capability where we collect a lot of information, a lot of telemetry from many different locations to provide and sometimes predict the different aspects of what's going to happen, and based on that to make decisions. One example of technologies that we have built into our system. We have anti-ransomware technologies, we have technologies on our mobile, many, many technologies, and all of these technologies together are providing this level of real-time prevention. You need proof to the importance of real-time prevention and what we're doing from a best security perspective. Well, I think the best proof and the best evidence of that is what I'm going to show you right now. And this is the award we just received in November last year. And this is the first third-party benchmark of prevention. This was a test done by NSS Labs late last year that is called Breach Prevention System. So basically, it was the first time that they actually measured multiple vendors and they measured their efficiency in actually preventing attacks once they happen. And I think that we should be very, very proud, again, this entire Checkpoint family, that we got the best score in this test. We got the best score with 100% block rate, meaning every attack that come to us, we were able to block and prevent immediately. Secondly, we're able to show that we're doing that with the lowest TCO. So it's about showing a very efficient technology, set of technologies, and all of that with one single gateway. All the other vendors there, they were providing a gateway and an endpoint to be able to provide, at that stage, something which was inferior to what we had to provide. So we provided the best security scores, the most superior prevention in the industry with one single device showing the lowest TCO. So this is all about the technologies and the innovations that we're building again and again. And we've talked about climbing the mountain. It's a long and consistent journey that we've been doing for a long time. So let's continue this journey, and I would like to talk about the second step. And the second step is about we need to provide prevention across the entire network. It's about providing real-time prevention on our perimeters, in our data centers, on our endpoints, and also on our mobile. So Jeremy just now spoke about mobile. Just to give you one example of a technology and a product announcement that we're going to do very, very shortly, and that is the ability not only to detect malware, but also to detect if users of mobile devices are going to start or using or browsing to malicious websites. And what we're doing, we're actually going to take some of the technologies we have on our mobile, technologies we have on our network security, and work together and to create a synergy so that we can actually detect if users are browsing to malicious websites. This is something that's going to come up very, very soon. Again, using the technologies, using the breadth of what Checkpoint can provide in order to provide the best real-time prevention. So I showed you all the different elements that we need to be protected on a network, on a perimeter, branches, data center, mobile, and last but not least, cloud. I want to emphasize, I want to stop here for a second, and I want to talk about the cloud. Last but not least, but it's very, very important. So we're seeing more and more in the past 5 years, we are seeing more and more of our customers, and the customers in this room here that are using cloud, consistently moving and pushing workloads to the cloud, compute, software as a service, applications they're running and using the cloud for many, many reasons. And one of the biggest inhibitors right now in the cloud, or usage of the cloud, is cybersecurity, or cyber attacks that are happening in the cloud itself. What we're seeing, and this is just one example of a survey or sample that we did. This was a sample based on incident response, meaning this was a sample based on attacks that our customers were suffering with. And what you can see here is that over 50% of these attacks were because of what we call account hijacking, meaning you have a hacker that some way or somehow got the credentials of somebody's cloud operation, and with that we're able to do some bad things. Just imagine somebody getting into your credentials of Office 365, Salesforce, Box, and whatever, and think of the damage that the hackers can do once they get into your network or they get into your software as a service application and they are sending emails on your behalf or behalf of the CFO of the organization, and so on and so on. And we're hearing it all the time. And this chart here just illustrates one of the examples where we see that 50%, 1 out of 2 of the attacks today are because of account hijacking. So what's the issue? The issue is that what we're seeing is that malware and cyber attacks have become the #1 threat in today's move to the cloud. And our customers want to move to the cloud. So what do we need to do about it? It's not about compliance and control anymore. It's about how can we provide strong cyber attack protection against the different malware and attacks that are happening in the cloud. And for that, we must provide a strong and comprehensive set of solutions that are focused on threat prevention. How can we block attacks in the cloud? And for that, I'm really, really proud today to announce our new portfolio of products, a new product family that is focused on cloud security. And we're naming this new product family, we're naming it Checkpoint Cloud Guard. Checkpoint Cloud Guard is our new product portfolio that is focused on preventing and blocking attacks in the cloud, from software as a service and infrastructure as a service, anyway or anywhere that the hackers can get into our workloads in the cloud. It's part of the Infinity architecture, and it's all about protecting our customers against the cyber attacks in the cloud. As part of this family that we're introducing today, we are also providing 2 additional announcements. First of all, we are announcing a new product, a new cloud service, which is all about software as a service. So many of you, many of us, we're using many different cloud applications, from Salesforce, Office 365, Workday, ServiceNow, G Suite, and so on. And there's a long, long tail of applications that we are using in the cloud. And a big question is, how can I block the attacks? How can I prevent attacks once I use these applications? How can I still be safe and secure once I'm using these applications? And for that, today, we are introducing a new cloud service, and we are calling this cloud service Checkpoint Cloud Guard SaaS. This is a new cloud service that we are introducing today that is all about 2 main aspects. It's about, first and foremost, prevention of SaaS-based cyber attacks, meaning we want to block the hackers to get into our SaaS applications and infecting us with malware. And number 2, we're going to use some very innovative technologies in order to block account hijacking, or what we also call account takeover from SaaS applications. With your permission, I would like to show you in 1 or 2 slides exactly what I mean by these 2 different features, which are very, very important in this new cloud service. So the first one is about threat prevention. And the key element here is that we are going to use the state-of-the-art, the best threat prevention, that threat prevention that just won that award from NSS. We are going to use that technology, on that set of technologies, in order to prevent attacks from SaaS applications. So what is it all about? Think of different services that are running in the cloud, and you have this hacker that is trying to upload or send you some content, malicious content. Could be through an email, could be sending you some kind of a content, or having you put content into your storage repository in the cloud, sending you some kind of a customer list that you're putting in Salesforce. So the question is, how can you prevent this content from infecting your systems or your applications while you're running these workloads in the cloud? So what we're going to do is, through APIs, we're going to interact. These different services are interacting with CloudGuard SaaS, our new cloud service, which will be interacting in real time with our state-of-the-art threat prevention technologies in real time, in order to identify whether this new content that is trying to be uploaded is malicious or not. In case it's malicious, very simply, we're going to block this access. And again, what we're using is the most advanced threat prevention in order to do that. Number 2 is about account hijacking or account takeover. And again, as I showed you before, it's a significant issue, and a significant problem that needs to be resolved. So let's have these 2 examples here. There's an employee that wants to access a service in the cloud, and you have a hacker that is also trying to access a service in the cloud. So what we're going to do is we're going to use, again, Checkpoint CloudGuard SaaS in order to intervene and to identify the hacker and to block the hacker's access. How are we going to do that? Well, very, very simple. I don't want to intensify too much, and you'll hear a lot about that in the different sessions later today, and you actually see the demos. But what we can do is we can actually identify and validate authenticity of the employee and enable that to actually pass through. And at the same time, once we identify that access is coming from a hacker because of different behavior and where it's coming from, so we do some kind of behavior analysis, okay, we can identify that with this new technology that we're also implementing, we've implemented, we can block this access. So again, Checkpoint CloudGuard SaaS, a new service that we're introducing today. It will be available for demos in the next couple of weeks. It's actually available right now. You can actually see it in the expos, and it'll be actually shippable in the beginning of Q2. And this technology is all about protecting software as a service that all of our customers are using right now. So this is that. The second thing that I would like to talk about related to CloudGuard SaaS, CloudGuard, is what are we doing with the infrastructure and workloads? Because many of our customers are using the cloud in order to host, compute in the cloud itself. They're using Amazon Web Services, AWS, they're using Google Cloud Platform, Cisco and NSX for the private cloud, they're using Microsoft Azure. And the question is, what are we doing to protect these compute also from the different infections that we see in the cloud? So as many of you know, we already have a technology, a product technology, which we call VSec. And the VSec is all about providing the best threat prevention with the broadest set of security for today's cloud-based data centers. So today, I'm also announcing a second announcement, and that is that we are replacing the name VSec, and we're going to rebrand it to CloudGuard YAS. And this will enable us, when talking about CloudGuard YAS as infrastructure as a service, to talk about the main capabilities of what we're doing to protect these types of infrastructure and workloads that are happening in the cloud, with prevention of attacks in this world of hybrid environments, of different cloud environments, and last but not least, providing strong protection and provisioning at the speeds of the DevOps. So the reason why we combine it all together, YAS and SaaS, is because you, our customers, you want to hear from us one single and consistent story related to cloud security. Talking about CloudGuard YAS, there are two other announcements I would like to provide, which is very, very important. First of all, we're adding another cloud vendor to our portfolio, and that is Oracle Cloud. But more than that, we are increasing and enhancing our cloud capabilities these days. We added just right now Azure Stack, and we're fully interoperable with Azure Stack. Azure Stack is a technology that enables Azure also to run in the private cloud. We're also supporting AWS Guard Duty. And last but not least, we're also supporting today VMware's interaction and interoperability with AWS so that you can actually run virtual machines of VMware in the AWS platform. So as you see here, these set of technologies that are all about preventing attacks in the cloud are providing one consistent strategy that we can talk with you customers and the partners and all of us together on how Check can provide the most comprehensive set of tools and technologies to prevent these attacks. So this was the second step in our journey to generation 5 of cybersecurity. And the third generation, or the third step that I will talk about is about, if you remember, is about consolidated management. And consolidated management is about the ability to provide strong management and strong capability to actually manage this amount of different security solutions that you have in one consistent way. Because if you haven't got strong security, you will not have strong management, you won't have strong security. So you need to have strong management that can see everything, can provide good threat management, good policy management, and can be automated with whatever we have right now to offer. So this is what R80 is all about, and many of you, we see that there's a very large percentage already of customers that already have adopted R80. R80 that we introduced 2 years ago and last year R80.10, and we're continuing to evolve related to R80, is all about very strong policy management, strong automation and orchestration, and last but not least, the ability to provide one single consistent threat management. This platform of R80 that you'll hear and you'll see in the different sessions and in Expo and in technology rooms are all about how can we provide strong consolidation. But the last question here is, how do you, in this world of a generation 5 cybersecurity, with so many different elements, so many logs, and so much information that we need to collect, how can you actually do that in real time? And how can you consume so much information in real time? how can you actually process all this information? How can you collect all these events in real time? And how can you do that and respond from a management perspective so fast to what's happening? We are collecting information from the mobile devices, from our cloud, from our different security gateways that are spread around the network. How can we do that? And for that, my second introduction actually, what I want to do today is I want to introduce a new product line or new line of security management appliances. And we're calling them the 5th generation. These are the 5th generation of our Smart One appliances that are focused on security management. These lines of appliances are focused on several main capabilities, but it's all about powering the 5th generation of cybersecurity with very, very strong capabilities, from strong policy management, all unified together in one single machine, integrated threat management in one single machine. There's no other vendor that can provide strong security management in a single machine. We can provide in one single machine everything that you need in a simple manner with very strong data storage and performance that enables you to collect simultaneously information from thousands of different sensors, devices, security gateways, mobile devices, all into one single device. How are we doing that? We're doing that also by boosting the capabilities of these new appliances with 2.5 more times of log per second, log processing capabilities. We have faster solutions, faster CPUs. We're adding more storage to each of these appliances. So with that, we have a new line of appliances, a new 5th generation of Smart One appliances. You can see the full line and what we've introduced. These products are in the pricing catalog today, shippable, and you can actually order them immediately. Very, very exciting to me because, again, this is about powering the 5th generation of cybersecurity with the solutions and the products that you need in order to provide very strong management. And with strong management, you'll provide strong security. So we've climbed the mountain, and as I said before, not every cybersecurity vendor can actually get there and can achieve this journey to the top of the mountain. And we've actually achieved that, and we're doing that, and we're building more technologies in a day-to-day life. But then the last question that we'd like to talk about is, how do you acquire and how do you consume all these different technologies? There are technologies for the mobile and the cloud and different appliances and all that. How do you actually consume all of that? And with that, and the way to do that, and the best solution for that is what we spoke about earlier this morning, and that is about the last introduction I would like to do right now, and that is this new, very strong new consumption model that we're calling Infinity Total Protection. Infinity Total Protection is this new capability and this new business and service security consumption model that will enable you to actually acquire whatever you need in a very simple way. So let's talk about it and how it actually works. So a year ago, when we were speaking about the technologies, we will provide you with multiple different technologies, separate point solutions. But then last year, we introduced Infinity. And we talked about one consolidated architecture that combines everything together. This was what we said, and when I stood on stage last year and the balloons came up from the ceiling, it was about Infinity architecture. But then, if you look and you go one step further, all these point solutions have different price tags, have different business models, different pricing, and it becomes very complex from a pricing and business perspective. How do you consume all of it together? So what is Infinity Total Protection all about? It is providing one consistent, simple, and predictable mechanism that you can today actually consume all of these different services. This new business model is about a price, a single price per user, per year, that you consume everything that we have. Let's try and open this box and see what's inside this box. Hope it works. So if I open the box, let's see what's inside this box. Inside the box, we have everything from software that we can provide, all of the hardware that you need, all of the subscriptions, the security subscriptions that you need, the support, service, training, everything is included in that single price per user per year. Everything is included. And it's all about providing you with one simple and predictable mechanism to actually consume and be at that generation 5 of cybersecurity. We would like to provide you with the right mechanisms, not only from a technology perspective, but also from a business perspective, to be at the level that you need to be. It's not about being in generation 2 and generation 3 anymore. We all need to be at the right level if we're looking at what is happening. So to summarize my session right now. So as we spoke about this morning, about the different sessions, we were talking about the need to be in the 5th generation of cyber protections. We must be there. If we're looking at where we are from a cyber attack perspective, we are already in the 5th generation of cyber attacks. We see what's happening, and this interruption and disruption to their day-to-day life. And to cope with this disruption, we need to be in the 5th generation of cybersecurity. And it's a time now to step up, all of us, to get there. And to get there, we need to climb the mountain together with the best technologies. And Checkpoint Infinity architecture is Checkpoint's solution in order to get to the 5th generation of cybersecurity. And I talked about 3 ingredients. I talked about real-time prevention. I showed you the evidence that we have today the best technology. And if you heard Jeremy, and if you heard Nitzan, and if you're going to attend a different session today, you will see and you will hear many of the different innovations and technologies that are happening that are all about how Checkpoint is continuously innovating and adding all the time the best technologies that we can stay on that mountain, at the top of that mountain. The second part is about providing that level of security across the entire network. And today, we introduce CloudGuard as one comprehensive solution and product portfolio for cloud security. As part of the CloudGuard introduction, we introduced a new cloud service, which is called CloudGuard SaaS, which is all about preventing and blocking attacks from the different cloud applications that many of us are using on a day-to-day life. It's also about preventing account takeover, account hijacking, once we use these different applications. And last but not least, we talked about consolidated management, which is all about, and we're using the new security management appliances, the 5th generation of smart home appliances, in order to provide this level of protections. To get to infinity, all these different technologies, all the different products and hardware, we also introduced the Infinity Total Protection, which is our new and strong and very, very innovative. And we think it's a game changer in a way that we would like each of you, all of our customers, to consume the 5th generation of cybersecurity. Thank you very much.